Hi, this is Vinny from North Jersey Woodcraft, and I just wanted to introduce you to my comic book cabinet that I recently completed for a client. He wanted something that looked similar to an old card catalog. It has 20 drawers. They are all mounted on soft close draw slides, undermount draw slides. The exterior is made out of solid mahogany and solid mahogany veneer plywood. The draw pulls are sort of a card catalog pull system there. It's a brush coated black. The draw boxes themselves are half-inch plywood. All around they're 17 inches deep and they're 8 inches wide, so they will hold a good amount of comics of different ages. The cabinet itself stood 56 inches tall by 57 inches wide. It is quite heavy. I would say it's a couple hundred, maybe 600-700 pounds. There's me getting into the spirit of the comic book cabinet, and there's me with my disguise off. So woodworking is my superpower. Here you see me using my Black & Decker Matrix tool to cut the plywood and to basically break down my draw boxes. It's a great little tool. It's interchangeable. You can actually put a couple different attachments on so you're not stuck with it. This is me dialing in the actual thickness of the draw sides, which were 11 1/4. So I ripped them all down, and that's basically what I'm doing here right now. The draw slides are the CHS brand from Home Depot. This is the 2 packages they arrived in. That's all 20 in that box. So right there, what you're looking at is the 20 draw front sides and bottoms. And there's the dado groove actually that I notched in the front and the sides. A solid cardboard box, the 15-inch short boxes. These short boxes hold about 150 to 200 comics in them. So this is just slightly bit longer than that for the exterior. So here's another shot. So you have about like another inch and a half after that box ends for comics. So what you're looking at now is basically the 20 draws piled up high. This gave me a rough idea of how big my comic book cabinet would actually be when it was done. There's quite a bit of measuring and figuring out from here, but what I basically did was I got the boxes done first, the draw boxes. I figured out exactly how big the draw boxes needed to be to fit the comics. From there, I was then able to figure out how big the opening needed to be for these draw slides. So I created a little test draw box after that. And once I realized that it worked well, the soft close feature worked great. From there, I was able to figure out exactly how big my cubby system boxes should be. Nice. And what I came down to was each of my openings came out to 12 inches by 9 3/4. So that gave me plenty of room to mount the hardware in there and have the draw space it needed to move well. So here's some shots of the actual cubby system with some draws just loosely placed in there. After mounting them, I did want to test to make sure that all the drawers were actually in their level. So, I just stuck a nice 7-foot level across the top, tested it out. What I also did there was a tip over test. I extended all the top drawers. I even put a little weight in each one just to see if I had any tip over. Now, because of the sheer weight of this cabinet, it doesn't move. The frame of the cabinet, the actual cubby system, is roughly about 20 inches, so it's pretty stout. And then you have the added weight of all that plywood in all those boxes, plus the weight of all those solid mount draw slides. Total, again, on this cabinet, we're looking at about 650 pounds. Hi, so the drawer slides that I'm using for this comic book cabinet are the Undermount Slides by CSH. I got them on Home Depot. They were around 18 and change each, a lot cheaper than the Bloom. So hopefully they work well. A lot of good reviews so far on them. You know, nobody seems to really be complaining about them all that much. As far as installation instructions, this is what you get. Instruction manual for installing the 39.3300 series Undermount Slide. Also, they also have a lot of this on their YouTube channel. They have a couple pages from their book. So this is the tools that you'll need. This is what comes with it. Again, it tells you based on the size, step 1, step 2. That's a diagram of your drawer. Okay, they're basically describing the notch that you have to cut out. Since I am using 1/2-inch plywood for mine, I actually just had to create a notch. I made mine actually larger than the slide for convenience, so I have plenty of room back here. So this is a 1/2-inch dado that I basically notched out here, and it lies flat along the bottom of the drawer. I actually did that on all the drawers yesterday, and now I am slowly installing the hardware clips. These little clips here, they're pretty solid. I was worried because, at first I thought it was going to be flimsy plastic, but, the mechanisms all seem pretty solid. I was worried that this plastic here, when you're screwing into it, would be really weak and just sort of give, but that's pretty good, actually. It's pretty solid. They also give you a lot of holes to choose from, so you can either do the forward-facing holes, angled in, so you got one here, one there, third one here, or you can choose the downward holes, so you got one here, and you got one in this corner. So what I've been doing is sort of splitting it. I've been starting with the solid corner, pinning it down and then going to this one, and then to this one. And if I mess up on any of these holes, if I overdo it on the drill, which I haven't, but if I do, I just switch up and go to my other holes. So far I've gotten about 7 out of my 20 draws done, and we'll see how everything slides once I get all the cabinets put together. All right. Okay, so I'm back, and I just wanted to show you I am doing the draw slides now. The Undermount full extension, soft close slides from CSH. And here you go. So these are actually pretty easy to put in. If you're looking at them from behind, you have a notch where this little clip catches, and it gets inserted in there. So as you push the draw out, it actually pulls it forward. When you look, you'll notice there are pistons here that actually help with the soft close feature. And there you go, you see it coming all the way back. I have been putting these together, or putting them in slowly. And I just wanted to give you sort of an idea of what I'm doing. See, after I install them, I place them in there. What I do is I take my draw, and when I do install them, I'm using my gauge here, my Craig gauge, to actually figure out and line them all up so they're all the same distance from the edges all the way around and so on. So this is lined up here. That's lined up there. And as far as that little space there, that distance, that 1/8 of an inch, I just kind of found it through trial and error. I mean, I think there are steps in the instructions, but I'm one of those people who just not very good at reading instructions. So I found these actually really simple to just put together, to just go right to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull these forward. And then I'm going to take my draw, which I've already notched, and attached the hardware below. And I'm just going to sit it on top of my slides. And once I get it on top of my slides, I'm going to push it back till it makes contact with those clips. I haven't skirted out this whole cabinet yet, so I still have a back panel to put on, a top, nice sides, but this is basically the cubby system for this cabinet that I'm making. Again, it's going to be 20 drawers, 4 rows, 5 columns. I have it sitting on some flat pieces of wood right now, so I can do this all on a level surface. This garage floor is not very level, so I shimmed out and leveled out that plywood to make sure it was level. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull these back. I'm going to take my pencil, and I've already done this on this one so you can kind of see, but now I know exactly where to drill. So I'm going to take this and mark it. I'll go to this one and I'll mark it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take the draw out. Place it on top of my cabinet. I'm going to come around, grab my pencil, just fell. Change my drill bit, which I actually forget what this is. Well, just to give you an idea size-wise. It's in the directions, so you'll see it when you look in the directions. Actually, it's a 1/4 inch bit, sorry. It's a 1/4 inch bit. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my tape to help me with my depth. And I drill in here. I'm gonna go over, I'm gonna drill in there. So let me drill these holes and then I'll show you how they go in. Okay, so I added my 2 holes here to accept these grooves. And just so you can see, they're about almost a 1/2 inch as far as depth when they go in. So what I do is I take a piece of tape and I mark it off so I know exactly how deep to go. There were, like on this one, I'm just gonna pull this draw out eventually and I'm gonna drill this hole a little bit deeper. The tighter these sit, it's like on this one, that hole's gonna go just a little bit deeper. The tighter they sit, the more level the draws are, the faces are. Okay, so just a tip. If you're getting one side of your draw that's sticking out farther than the other, just check the depth. And you've put your slides in the exact same spot across, check the depth of the hole, because if one hole is not as deep as the other, you will get a draw that's slightly off. So let's put these in. I'm gonna pull them out. I am just gonna sit the draw on top of it. Now looking at it from below, you'll notice, grab it with my fingers, pull it forward, pull it forward. If you hear that click, that is this hardware catching in that section right there. Okay, so now let's test the draw by pushing it all the way in. And now there we go. I have a draw that is sitting flush here, flush there, flush here, flush there. Pull it out. It's not going anywhere. Soft close. And there you go. So I'm gonna get the rest of these draws done, hopefully today. And then I'm gonna get the rest of the wood that I'm gonna use to actually dress this up so it doesn't look like a plywood stack of cubbies. In a lot of scenarios, I've seen a lot of ones online, this right here would be enough. You're looking at about $56 a sheet of plywood. There is roughly 3 and maybe a half sheets of 3/4 inch plywood, and there are 4 sheets of 1/2 inch plywood. Takes 3 to do the sides, front and back of the boxes, and takes a full sheet to do the bottom of all 20 draws. So I'll have all these plans and materials list when I put together my plans for you. So let me get going on this and I will get back to you. Okay, so reason I wanted to show you this was, although there's not a whole lot of adjustment on the individual slides themselves, they actually provide so many holes spaced out on both sides that if you're having any issues getting it straight, you can, completely just drill out a new hole and go on from there. So, I'm over halfway through installing 20 drawers. So far, the CSH soft close slides are doing great. I mean, I'm not having any issues getting them. And if I have a draw face that's not completely flush, I've been having a really easy time just by messing with the screws, just getting it where I need to be. If I have to shim underneath one of these or out a little, it's really easy to do. So again, really loving these CSH soft close draw slides I got at Home Depot. Thanks. Okay, well, it is 11 o'clock at night, and I just finished the build on the comic book cabinet. 20 drawers with all the hardware attached, soft close. It was meant to look like a card catalog, if you guys remember those from school when we were kids, but that's kind of the look, that apothecary style as well. Inset doors. These are the backer boards that are going to go on afterwards. So just do a quick walk around. Back here, I stuck these here. These are the actual mahogany cutoffs. We're going to use these to mount this to the wall just to prevent any type of tip over. So find the studs, drill right through those. The backer pieces are going to cover these. The only reason I didn't put it on yet is because when I move it, I'm going to be taking out the drawers to make this thing lighter because it is a beast. It weighs a ton. And just getting it back in from behind is a little easier because I can check the tabs and make sure that everything's all set properly. But otherwise, I am good to go. Mahogany looks great. I wish I was able to see it age. Because right now, it has that nice fresh sanded look. So it still looks a little light, but it's going to get darker, browner, redder. It's going to look really cool. And so this total cabinet, I'm going to break out a tape measure real fast and give you the exact dimensions. Okay, so the total here was 57 corner to corner, 57 inches. And let's see, I believe it was 56 from bottom to the top. 56 3/4 to the top. So it's, it's a nice giant square. Each of the boxes are 9 3/4 wide. Each box on the inside is 8 inches. Enough to fit any of the comics from the different years and the different styles. Inside also, we got 17 inches for space on the inside of the cabinet. So plenty of room to put your comics in here. The draw faces are roughly 12 inches high. I actually had to use Uno cards so I could space them out. The main reason is that without any weight in them, there's one drawback of the slides that I really wasn't expecting. Otherwise, everything else is great about them. Was there is quite a bit of play up and down as far as weight. So some of the drawers don't move much, right? Some of the other drawers move quite a bit. So, the minute you think you have I would use Uno cards all around, space it out. I would have like 7 on the bottom, 3 on the sides. And then the minute I'd let go, I'd pull them out. I'd tack it, and then I'd be ready to pull it out to screw them in. The drawer would just fall. So what I wound up doing was actually putting some weight in each drawer to help keep it up and back. And that helped a lot, actually, to help space them out. So basically what I did was I wound up putting some weight back here, and that would help lift the drawer in place. So when I did attach the face and tack it in place, it was where it should be. I'm really happy with the way this thing came out. I'm going to try to get some plans together for it, so if anyone's interested, you can check out my website at northjerseywoodcraft.com. I'll have some more images, and hopefully after it gets installed, I can get some pictures of it in place. But yeah, I really like this. I actually wish I had comics to fill this thing up. It would be awesome at this point. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And thanks again. Bye. I had some leftover mahogany, so I decided to make some dialogue box shelves for his wall. I had two of them. I had enough to make two, so I thought it looked kind of cool to have them next to each other, mounted on the wall above the cabinet. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any questions about the 20 drawer comic book cabinet, please don't hesitate to ask. Leave a comment. If you could like and subscribe, that would be great. It would be a real big help to us. I'm hoping I can get more videos out in the future. I have a couple more clients and a couple more projects I'd like to show you. If you want to visit my website, it is www.northjerseywoodcraft.com. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, and hopefully this YouTube channel picks up some subscribers. So thanks for your time, and have a great day.